the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Good evening, welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, we're here with the Elkhorn Automotive and Tire Center Shut Up and Race Street Stock Series presented by 5 Star Realty. Tonight, we are at Road America. These guys just keep mixing things up on us. Last week, we were out there at the dirt tracks. This week, we're here running some road courses in these street stocks. But like I said, these guys constantly looking for something new to shake things up a little bit. And this course definitely going to do that. These are great big heavy street stocks, not designed for this road course racing whatsoever, but these guys don't care. They're going to go ahead and pull them out here tonight. Looking like their drivers meeting has just finished up, so we'll be able to get a look at a couple of these guys out on track as they get going here tonight. All right, so it's been a couple weeks since we talked about any points or anything like that. With the last week being just an exhibition race there at the dirt track at Kokomo. So let's take a look at what's going on with our points as we're coming towards the end of the season here. So currently sitting in that first place position, that's going to be Cody Hubbard. Cody's got 2 wins this season, both of those coming back to back. So he will be looking to capitalize on that, keep that momentum going. Currently sitting in that second place position, that's Vern Woodard. Vern sitting just a few points back. Cody's sitting on 258 with Vern sitting on 244 points. Vern, after his last points race, went ahead and improved himself up from that third place position. And that means since Vern moved up one, Justin Thuft got bumped down into that third place position. Behind him in fourth is Philip Martin. Dustin Shepard sitting in that 5th place position on points. Jerry Stone currently sitting in 6th. Our big mover after our last points event is going to be Devin Rogers. Devin improved 4 spots the finish he had at our last race. And 8th is Patrick Smith. 9th is Joshua Taylor. And 10th is Jonathan Cross. So as we get towards the end of the season, every last point's gonna count. No one's quite clinched that coveted top position, and things continue the way they've been going. We don't expect to see that happen anytime soon before the end of the season. Taking a quick look at what's going on out there on the track right now. Like we said, we're here at Road America. The track is just under 4 miles. 14 turns these guys will be dealing with, and not all of them lefts. These guys are going to have to make some right-hand turns and some pretty sharp ones at that. You guys will be working around the track trying to find something that's going to work for them. You know, it's real tough. Get an oval driver out here on the road course. Get them feeling comfortable. These guys are used to running in packs. You know, it's often said that if you are running ovals, you're racing the drivers around you. If you're running road courses, driving against the track. So it will be interesting to see how that plays out for these guys here tonight. Let's take a quick look at our weather. That'll give us an idea of what's going on out there. So currently the track temperature sits at 113 degrees. That's a nice warm track for these guys to be fighting here tonight. The air temperature is currently sitting at 77 degrees. So don't expect to see that track temperature drop anytime soon. It looks like there is no clouds. So that sun is just baking the track out here tonight. Get a good look here. This is the 91 machine, Jerry Stone. Jerry putting in some decent times here tonight. Currently sits 8th on the practice boards. Let's see if he can catch. I think that's the 97. Jacob Nottestedt Generally one of our front runners. Interesting to see what he's able to do here on the road course. Jacob came out and ran with us here at the dirt track last week. Before that, it'd been quite a few weeks before we saw him, so real excited to have him back out here on track. Currently, though, our top time is being held by Dustin Shepard. Tonight, laps looking like they're going to be in that 2.5 minute mark area. Dustin currently sitting on a 2:32 to give him his best lap and top time here in practice. We're going to step away for just one moment, get the anthem going here for you tonight before we get to the racing action.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular their bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back to tonight's race here from Road America. These guys getting crazy with the street stocks out here on the road course. Right now we're watching the 69 Dustin Shepard. Dustin just getting that first lap rolling right now, just on the out lap, so not really worried about that time quite yet. Just getting some heat in those tires, getting a good feel for how the track is currently sitting. Real interesting to see what these guys are able to do with these cars here. Like we said, they're big, heavy cars, not really designed for this road racing, so it's going to take a lot of finesse from these guys to be able to get them around without collecting a bunch of grass in that front grille. Nice long track for these guys to be working on. Like we said, we're looking at about 2.5 minute laps. These guys are gonna have to get out there quick if they're gonna hope to get some qualifying in. Take a look. This looks like the 01 Joshua Taylor out there on track currently. He is also working his way around here. Nobody's quite started their timed lap yet, but we will just still be kind of waiting to see what these guys are able to do, and that's definitely not going to help him get any confidence coming through that section. 19 Jeffrey Mathis in that 5-star Realty car. Remember, if you are headed out to Florida on vacation, get in touch with him. He's got some condos they can get you set up in, get you a nice place to stay there. Once again, get in touch with Jeffrey Mathis with that 5-star Realty. Starting to see times coming in across timing and scoring. At least as far as the outlap is concerned, no actual qualifying times yet. That first outlap, guys are sitting right around the 3-minute mark. So definitely still got some time to get around the track here and make sure they put in a solid time. Remember, with the way things work here at iRacing, if these guys slide off the track, get a little bit too excited about what they're doing, they're going to pick up those dreaded X's, and an X is going to mean that qualifying time does not count. You're going to get to finish that lap and hope that the next one you can run clean. Looking here at the 28 machine, that's Mike Todd working his way up towards that Corvette banner. And he's wishing he had a Corvette right now, because that little street stock might not have the power he's wishing he had in under him. Here's the 97, Jacob Nottestead. Once again, one of our drivers that we generally see towards the front of the field. Street course or road course, definitely going to throw maybe a little bit of wrench in his plans as far as how he normally runs. Going to have to take care of the tires out here a lot more than we see at those oval tracks. There it seems like you're able to abuse the tire a little bit and be okay, simply because the car's not putting down that much power. But here, without any banking, with the corners kind of not being perfect for you, you're gonna be wanting as much grip as you can possibly get out of those today. So the 73 of Vern Woodard working here on that uphill section. Should be coming to our start finish line. We should be seeing a time out of him pretty quick here. So Vern Woodard, with his first lap, goes to the top of the leaderboards with a 236.937. Dustin Shepard in the 69 quickly taking that top spot, a 233.753. Gary Stone out here in the 91 machine, currently riding in that 6th position. Right now, be coming up to a hard left-hander, getting himself set up down this little bit longer straight. Well, it's not super straight, but you can run it pretty well flat out until you're hitting this corner, and then it's everything you can do to get that car slowed up and keep it on the track. Talking about that 97, Jacob Nottestead looked like he dropped off the track just a little bit there. That's not going to matter too much, because his last time, a 233.293, going to put him in that top qualifying spot. Definitely not the lap he was hoping for there. Maybe testing something out, seeing what he can get to work, but that definitely was not what he was looking for. Looking at David Knowles here, the 92 machine. See him right in the mix of things, getting a little bit crazy out there on track. This track definitely going to be a tricky one for these guys. We're seeing a lot of longer straights leading into some pretty sharp turns these guys are going to have to deal with. That car's going to get going. They're going to be carrying a good amount of speed, and then all of a sudden, got to get her woed up before you're making that turn. Be interesting to see how that tire wear comes into play. We're seeing these guys getting on those curbs. Hopefully, they're able to hang on to that throughout the night. Something we normally see at oval tracks is those guys get down on the curbs, or on the curbs. That car might step out on you a little bit, and if you're not expecting it, you can find yourself in a world of hurt real quick here. With just over a minute left here tonight in qualifying. Looks like for the most part, everyone's putting in times. A few guys not quite able to get a time in. My guess, they were out there on track doing what they could, but dropping tires here and there, going to give them that dreaded X like we were talking about, and they're not going to put in a qualifying time here. That last lap for David, though, that's going to bump him up into the 8th position. Well, just before we get things rolling here tonight, let's see if we can get one of our drivers. Let's see if we can get caught up with Brad Tazbecker. Brad, you got a copy?
10-4, Danny.
Hey, Brad, last week was your crazy idea to head out to a dirt track. This week, another crazy idea. We're headed to Road America here, or not headed to, I guess we're here. How you feeling about this decision you've made now?
Probably one of the worst decisions I've made, but you know what? Hopefully it'll put on a good show for all the viewers watching at home, and hopefully we'll see somebody be able to give Jacob a good run for his money. I see Dustin already out-qualified him, so it'll be a fun night.
Yeah, Dustin got him by just a little bit. It looks like I'm not seeing it. Did you drop some tires off somewhere?
Well, you decide what corner it was, and I'll tell you yes or no.
Well, I don't know about you, but if I was out there on track, I know I'd be dropping tires on just about every corner out here. You know, tonight you guys have that 25X rule in place. Are you worried about that at all?
I don't think we'll get that high up. I got a pretty good spotter with me tonight who's going to try to keep my head cool and keep us on the track and hitting our marks, so...
All right, well, sounds good. We will get you back down there to the grid because we know it's a standing start here tonight, so we'll make sure you get down there and get set.
Thank you, Danny. You have a good night, and I don't think I'll talk to you later, but we'll see you soon.
Hey, we can hope for the best. You have a good night out there. All right, that's a 27 machine, Brad Tazbecker. We're able to get a quick word in with him before he had to head down there to the track. Well, let's see if we can get a look at our starting grid here tonight. All right, starting on that pole position. That is going to be the 69 of Dustin Shepard as we try and chase some cameras around here. There we go. Get us an eye on what's going on there. Starting just outside him in second place is Jacob Nottestead. Row 2, Jeffrey Mathis and Philip Martin. Row 3, Joshua Taylor, Vern Woodard. Row 4, Jerry Stone, Cody Hubbard. Row 5, David Knowles, Jacob Heathcote. Row 6, Mike Todd, Daryl Calder. Row 7, Gary Asheen and Wayne Brown. Row 8, Patrick Smith, Sawyer Ott. Row 9, Brad Klasinski and Brad Tazbecker. That is going to wrap up our starting grid here tonight. If we can get a look towards the front of the field here, can slowly make our way up there. Go jumping our way around here. Green flag is out. These guys trying to get those cars going. Big heavy cars, little bitty tire. Here we go at Road America. These guys have set sail off into corner 1. This is going to be a little bit crazy. Everybody's going to be bunching up, trying to find a spot to put that machine coming through 1. Looking like, for the most part, we're clean through there. Nobody off in the grass as we look at the 01 Joshua Taylor. Joshua currently sitting in that 6th position, not having to worry about anyone around him right now. Just behind him, though, that's the 4 of Gary Asheen. Gary, definitely someone to be worried about here at the road courses. See him headed here. They'll be headed down this little bit of a hill through some S's and into a good left-hand turn. Gary's got by that time. Looking further back here, just a little bit of a battle between the 20 of Cody Hubbard and the 91 of Jerry Stone. Hubbard running that optimum line there through the inside. Looking like he's got a little bit of a lead there. See if he's able to clear through this section. There we go. See him able to get through. It's just in front of him. That's the 46, Philip Martin, off the track there. A little bit of damage to that car. It looks like he slid off somewhere and collected the wall just a touch. Back out front, Jacob Nottestead in that 97 machine. Him and Dustin Shepard going ahead and pulling out a pretty good gap. You get a good look for it there. Plenty of room between them and the 73 of Vern Woodard. Vern and Jeffrey Mathis running together. We're seeing a couple little packs forming up out here. Looking back here, lots of action going on right around the 32 of Jacob Hefko. Hefko, they're battling with the 92 of David Knowles and the 57 Sawyer Ott. Everybody using up as much track as they can possibly get a hold of to keep those machines rolling forward. That 196, Brandon Klaczynski making up some distance here. He goes ahead and slots into that 12th position just behind the 57 Sawyer Ott. So these guys, I know they've run some practice out here. You know, it's one thing to run practice. We see the 46 there dropping off into pit lane. Looks like the 01 also coming with them. So some early issues for those guys. Hopefully they're able to get back out here on track and get those machines rolling again. Currently working on lap 2 of 25. For the most part, it's looking like guys have got things figured out, at least as far as getting single file. No one battling too hard right now, just kind of letting things roll, waiting for the guy in front of him to make a mistake. As we see the 196 there, Brandon Klaczynski doing just that, taking advantage of Sawyer Ott, who made a little mistake through that corner, but leading into this big, long straight. A little mistake gets multiplied and he is able to come on by. The 57 there getting out of shape. He overshoots that corner. Sawyer Ott definitely having a rough go of things currently. We're going to watch him drop through the field a little bit there. Coming back on the track, that's the 20 of Cody Hubbard. Cody is off the course there. Getting things rolling again, and he collects the 196, Brandon Klaczynski. Currently looking at the 27, Brad Tasbecker. Brad making our top 10 just barely. He's going to be working on the working on by the 92 there. Makes that move cleanly, and there he goes along with him, the 79 of Patrick Smith. Early on, we're seeing guys trying to get things figured out. Like we were saying earlier, they've been out here, they've been doing practice, but running practice is a whole lot different than getting out here on the track and racing with someone on your bumper. In practice, you know, you're able to give up that position. If you're not super comfortable with the guy behind you, just go ahead and give it up, let him go. It's not going to matter. Here tonight, expect to see guys battling for every position they can get. That's the 97, Jacob Nottestead, already running to that inside. Going, getting himself set up to run a nice defensive line coming to the corner. He goes ahead and moves back out, opens the door for the 69 of Dustin Shepard. Dustin a little bit too far off, not able to make anything happen coming into corner one. These two have been running pretty much nose to tail since we got started. Just in front of him, there, that looks like that's the number 8 machine of Wayne Bowen. Wayne currently sits one lap down. Unfortunately, got caught up in a little something early on there. So he's going to be fighting for the rest of the night just to see what kind of positions he can pick up. Looking here, this is the 32 machine, Jacob Heathcote. Jacob chasing down Jerry Stone. See the 73 machine, that's Vern Woodard. Vern having a little incident there. Finds himself off the track with a couple more cars coming on by. So Vern gonna drop back into the 6th position. Gonna give up a little bit of time there. We look further back, we got a battle brewing here. That's the 27, Brad Taz Becker, the 20 of Cody Hubbard, and the 79 of Patrick Smith. These three running nose to tail, side by side. They decide to make a little bit of a change to what's going on, get things single filed out for that corner there. I'm sure, though, that doesn't mean that's the end of that battle. Those three will be going at it all night long here. Hubbard there in the 20 machine. Let's see if we can get a look at what he's seeing there behind him. See the 79 machine, Patrick Smith, working all over that back bumper. Definitely keeping him honest. The more these two go at it, though, the more that brings that 57 machine of Sawyer Ott back into the picture, as well as the 196 of Brandon Klaczynski. So as those two continue the battle, behind them, there's its own little battle going. 57 is Sawyer Ott trying to hold off the 196 Brandon Klaczynski. As getting in line, trying to make something of the draft here down this long front stretch. Brandon Klaczynski able to hold that inside line just a little bit tighter. Gonna give him the benefit coming out of the corner there. He's gonna come on by the 57 of Sawyer Ott. So like we said earlier, these guys being real careful, not getting into each other too bad. Just wait for the guy in front of them to make some little mistake, something that's gonna pay off. Watching them earlier, we saw the 97, Jacob Nottestead, the 69, Dustin Shepard battling for position. See Nottestead there a little bit off track. Behind him, a little bit bigger gap than we were seeing before. That 69 machine dropping off just a touch. Nothing to be worried about too far yet for Dustin. But Dustin, I'm sure, just like any racer, wants to close that gap back up as soon as possible and start working on coming on by the 97 of Jacob Nottestead. Jacob, big slide through the corner there, using up every little bit and maybe a little bit more on the grass there. Take a look again. Here's the 32 of Jacob Heathcote. Jacob chasing down Vern Woodard. Vern, we saw him a little bit earlier, dropping through the field a touch just because of a little bit of off-track action. Currently, though, Vern looks like he's got things back under control. Jacob trying to chase him down. Like Jacob's able to close the gap there just a little bit. Might have drove it in too hard, though. Not able to carry a ton of speed coming out of that corner. Benefit for Jacob coming down this front stretch. He's going to have plenty of draft sitting on that back bumper of Vern. Less than 2/10 sit between these drivers right now. So plenty of room for them to work with. Jacob definitely trying to capitalize on it, get right to that bumper before they come into corner one. Vern able to run a great line through that corner, get the car woed down and keep nice and tight through there. Heathcote just going to have to sit back and wait for something. Give him an opportunity to come on by. Back up front, bad news for Nottestead. He's dropped back to that second position. Dustin Shepard able to capitalize on a mistake that Nottestead made and come on by. So as of lap 5, Dustin Shepard goes ahead and pulls into the lead. These guys are flying all over the place trying to chase him down. Dustin currently sitting on about a 1.5 second gap between him and Nottestead. That gap slowly building between him and Nottestead. Dustin running clean lines through here. This is generally where we see that chasing car able to make up some time. With a 1.5 second gap, probably not close enough to pick up any real draft to make any real meaningful difference between running your own time here. Nottestead not able to make up any time down that front stretch. '73 Vern Woodard still sitting in that fifth position, being chased by Jacob Heathcote. Behind them, the 79 of Patrick Smith. Patrick got plenty of room in front, plenty of room behind, not feeling too much pressure. The same, though, can't be said for Cody Hubbard. Cody Hubbard got a mere full of Brandon Klasinski there in that 196. Brandon looking to the inside, using that draft, trying to get up the inside coming into corner 1. Not able to do it, decides better just get back in line, wait for another chance, and make a good run at it again. Klasinski content to ride back there for a minute. We're only on lap 6 of 25, so these guys got plenty of time here on this almost 4-mile track to work with. Big slide out of the 79 machine, Patrick Smith. He's able to get that back under control, get rolling again. And you definitely heard those tires squealing, that car fighting to keep some traction. Back up front, Dustin Shepard, Jacob Nottestead, that gap closing up. We were looking at about 1.5 second gap, currently looking at just 1/2 second. So Jacob able to find that rhythm again, close that gap up. This time, as they come down the front stretch, Jacob will definitely be close enough to take advantage of that draft, and expect to see him. There he goes, dropping right in line. More than happy to ride on that back bumper for him. To move into the outside, trying to make that turn as wide as possible. Jacob looking to the inside, able to come up alongside. Late brakes, able to come on by. Great move through corner 1 from the 97 there of Jacob Nottestead. Jacob taking that lead back on lap 7. Only giving it up for just a little bit before he's able to close the gap and come back by Dustin Shepard. Don't expect, though, Dustin to let that go. Dustin will be all over Jacob trying to get that spot back. Short uphill straightaway before a good sharp left-hander. Pretty blind coming up through that hill, so guys really having to make sure they're hitting their marks, getting that car set up for the corner. Jacob overshoots the corner just a little bit, and that's all Dustin needs to come on by again. So these two trade in that position back and forth, all in the matter of one lap. Jacob not giving it up though, still fighting to the inside. Gonna be in his favor for the next little bit as they come into this next right-hander. Nottestead doesn't need it though. He's already by as they come through this S. Quick S's just before that final corner. Be interested to see if Shepard's able to get that same move done on Nottestead that Nottestead pulled on him. He is close enough. He should be able to get, like we say, a good draft coming down this straightaway. Doesn't look like they're quite as close as Nottestead was on Shepard, so Shepard gonna maintain that second position. Both drivers with their hands full right now. Coming down here into a couple of left-handers. Shepard right there on the back bumper. Might give him an opportunity to make a move to the inside if Nottestead's not able to get that car woed down in time. Nottestead, though, getting pretty familiar with the track, able to get the car through there without any issues. Great battle out here in front for the... These two have been going at it almost from the get-go. Nottestead able to pull away for a little bit. Ever since Shepard was able to find that back bumper, he's not been able to shake him. Great driving from these two, using up every little bit of the track, running them curbs, getting that car turn. Nottestead, big slide through that corner. Not what he was wanting to do. Those tires are going to be nice and hot coming through here. Shepard's got to be excited, got to be happy to see that coming out of Nottestead. Nottestead, once again, good little slide coming into there. Definitely not something he's going to want to keep doing through the night. Nottestead pulling off, deciding now's the time to go get some tires and get things going again. Well, he's got a little bit of free track. Let's take a ride here with the 69 of Dustin Shepard, see what he's doing in this machine, making his way through this track. time coming into that left-hander, having to run down through some gears, helping get that car slowed down. Quite a few cars coming down pit lane now. These guys deciding this is the time to get those tires, get that fuel, make sure you make it to the end here tonight. .196 here, Brandon Klosinski trying to chase down. That's the 79 machine, Patrick Smith there in front of him. With all this pitting going on, these have moved up into third and fourth. Overshot by quite a bit there by the 79 Patrick Smith. That's going to hand that position over to Brandon. The 196, he's going to move up into that third position now. Just in front of them, that's Vern Woodard in that 73 machine. Vern, we saw him a little bit earlier have some issues, but here with this road course, able to make up some of that time, get caught back up, currently finds himself in the second position. .97, Jacob Nottestead back out on track. Currently sitting in that seventh position. Just behind him, that's the 01 Joshua Taylor. Joshua also came down pit road here at least once tonight. That was a lot earlier. More than likely, expect to see him have to make one more stop here to make it to the end. Here's the 57 Sawyer Ott working on the 27 of Brad Taz Becker. Sawyer running hot through that corner. You see him coming all the way out to the edge there. Becker running a little bit more conservative line. Ott just looking for a way around. Becker gets big sideways there. He gets it gathered back up, but that's going to give the opportunity there to Sawyer to make something happen. Sawyer not able to do it, getting stuck to that outside line. Things just not quite working out for him. He's got to be happy, though, seeing that him sitting right there is putting plenty of pressure on Becker. Big run up here to the hill, back to the start-finish line. Looks like that 196 machine went ahead, dropped down pit lane, getting those fresh fuel and tires going. Sawyer Ott. There goes by the 97 97 of Jacob Nottestead. Jacob up into that third position. Not really surprised there though. Jacob on those fresher tires. The other guys have been out there for quite a while. Nottestead up into that second position, sitting on fresh tires. Goes on by Becker and Ott. So Becker and Ott both been out there for 10 laps now. Interesting to see if what exactly the fuel limits are, if these cars are able to go from here. Guys were just coming in early, or if everyone's expecting at least one more stop here tonight. Cody Hubbard. Cody currently sitting in that 11th position, chasing down the 32, Jacob Heathcote. Heathcote sitting in 10th place. So Hubbard definitely want to get there inside that top 10. That's a kind of a marker most drivers are looking for, trying to hit that top 10, top 5. You know, those little markers that might not be a win, but it's its own small victory. 79 Patrick Smith was leading the race, is now coming down pit lane. That will hand the lead over to Nottestead. Nottestead can go ahead and pick up that position nice and easy. It's always nice when the guy in front of you pits and you don't have to pick up your spot. Racing him out there on the track too. Lets you save some tire and not have to worry until you come up on the next guy you're going to be fighting with. So just before everybody started pitting, we were looking at the 69 machine of Dustin Shepard. He was running in that second position, currently finds himself in fourth, running just behind Sawyer Ott and Brad Tazbecker. He's now caught up to those two. Those fresh tires are definitely going to help him out here. Getting a good run up the inside of Sawyer as they come into this left-hander. Gonna come on by, might also pick up the 27 of Brad Tazbecker as well. There he goes, able to clear both those machines one corner. So we saw Shepard earlier in the night chase down the number 97 of Jacob Nottestead. Once he was able to catch up, though, not able to make any distance as Nottestead fighting for that position back. Look at now at just under or just over an 8-second gap. Working on lap 11 out of 25. He's got some time left out here on track. Interesting to see if he's able to make that time up again here and what happens there. Joshua Taylor rounding out the top 5 here. He'll be chasing down those two cars in front of him. That's Brad Taz and Sawyer Ott. Taylor currently been out there for 9 laps on those tires. The guys in front of him sitting on 11 lap old tires. So pretty close in count. Like we said, he was come in a little bit sooner than he planned on. Not able to had some issues on that first lap. As you see him there sliding off the track just a little bit. Expect to see him come down at least once more with that early stop. All right, let's give you a rundown through our top 10 here tonight. Currently looking at Jacob Nottestead in that first position with Dustin Shepard riding second. Sawyer Ott in third. Brad Tazbecker running fourth. Joshua Taylor fifth. Jerry Stone in sixth. Jeffrey Mathis riding 7th, Cody Hubbard in 8th, Jacob Heathcote in 9th, and Vern Woodard in 10th. You get a good look here. This is the 196 of Brad Klaczynski. He's able to catch up to the 73 of Vern Woodard. Just behind him, though, that's the 79 of Patrick Smith. Those three great competitors out here, not going to give each other too much room to work with. Going to be battling as long as they possibly can to grab those positions. Vern, like we just said, sitting inside that top 10. I'm sure Brandon is wanting to take that position away as soon as possible. There we see him making that move up to the inside. That draft working for him coming here in corner 1. He's able to brake just a little bit later. Come on by the 73 of Vern Woodard. Brandon doesn't get a good run out of the corner though, and Woodard comes right on back by. So these guys, all in the matter of a couple of turns, trading that position back and forth. That little mistake though, that brings Patrick Smith right into the picture. Him right there all over the back bumper of Klaczynski. Smith doesn't think he's quite got the run he needed in that corner, and Running just a little bit deep there. He drops back in line. Gonna maintain that 10th position right now. Dustin Shepard here in the 69 machine. There you can see in front of him, that's the 97 Jacob Nottestead. Just a few laps ago, we were looking at about an 8-second gap. Currently looking at 4.5 seconds. So Shepard definitely able to close that gap pretty quickly here tonight. Heathcote in the 32 machine catching up with the 20 of Cody Hubbard there in front of him. Heathcote and Hubbard making their way through the S's just before the final turn, coming back onto the front stretch. This seems to be the make or break point with this big long straight coming up the hill. If guys are able to get a good run out of that corner, they're able to latch onto the guy in front and try and make something happen coming down the front stretch here. Speaking of that, you see the 196, Brandon Klaczynski making that big move to the inside. Right on his back bumper, that's the 79 of Patrick Smith. Smith trying to come with him. They work their way into that first corner. There we go. iRacing not playing super nice with us there, but we are back to everything happy. The 73 Vern Woodard getting sideways coming through that corner. A little bit of time spent off into the grass. Gonna cost him some time and a position. Smith able to capitalize, come on by. He will now have his sights set on the 196 Brandon Klaczynski there in front of him. Oh, what a Joshua Taylor just behind him, 92 David Knowles. Knowles sitting just over a second and a half back from Taylor. So not quite in that range that Taylor's got to worry about him grabbing that draft and getting caught up anytime too quickly. It's all going to be a matter of how these guys are able to get through the corners, whether they're able to get through nice and clean or they're going to start locking things up and sliding all over the place. Taylor nice and clean there through that left-hander. Does the same thing with this one. Being nice and smooth allows him to get that power down, get that machine rolling. Currently working lap 14 of 25, and that gap continues to shrink. Nottestead looking back behind him, has to be aware that the 69 Dustin Shepard is closing that gap, and he's got to be remembering what happened earlier. When Shepard was able to get there, it turned into a fight real quick between these two. Him working through the gears, working that car. Not something these guys are normally having to do. You know, there's a few tracks where maybe you're dropping down out of fourth into third, but here all night long, it's just shift after shift, whether it's up or down. These guys messing with those gears probably more tonight than they've done all season. Shepard in this time machine giving chase. Currently just under 3 seconds between him and Nottestead in first. The 99 machine here, Daryl Calder. Daryl You see the 97 come sliding into the screen there. Daryl, our last car on the lap. So he'll be fighting with everything he's got to make sure he stays on that lead lap here. With 11 laps to go, he's definitely got his work cut out for him, though. If we get a look here, this is the 196, Brandon Klinzinski again, chasing down the 32, Jacob Hefko. Big slide, big check up there from the 79, Patrick Smith back there. Way late on the brakes, trying to see if he can make something happen. Not going to quite work out for him as we see that car wiggling all over the place. You can see it, 11 laps to go, and these guys are pushing with everything they've got. Looking here at the 27, this is Brad Tazbecker. Brad, and just in front of him, that's David Knowles. Just behind him, though, that's the 57 of Sawyer Ott. Those two at one point were sitting up inside that top 5 spot, sitting 2 and 3. But, you know, with the way the pit cycles have worked out, these guys dropping back quite a bit. Currently finding themselves right in that 12th and 13th position. Brad looking to improve that position by 1 if he can get caught up to the 92 there in front of him. That's Knowles. Knowles in that blue machine. Running a great line through there. Brad not able to find any chink in the armor that time. Brad continues to look just inside, just outside, making sure that Knowles knows he's there. That is any little mistake, he's going to be working to come on by. This time coming to the line, we'll start working lap 16. Dustin Shepard, Jacob Nottestead, once again, nose to tail. So Shepard able to find something with that car and keep it going. Nottestead doing a great job being out front here, but maybe not quite as comfortable here on the road courses as Shepard is behind him. That time as he came by, you could see those brake rotors glowing. Those two coming down pit lane. We were wondering whether they were going to be able to make it clear to the end. It's looking like the answer to that is no. They come down here on lap 15. Coming together, though, that means they'll be coming out together. Not having to worry about too much of a gap between them. '91 machine of Jerry Stone. Jerry currently sitting in that 3rd position. Pretty good gap between him and the cars in front of him. Interesting to see if he decides this is the time to come down or if he's going to go ahead and stay out there a little bit longer. With the way we've seen these tires wear and the amount of time guys are able to make up on fresh tires, be real surprised to see him stay out there. Fair enough, there he comes right down pit road. Gonna grab those fresh tires, gonna grab that fuel. Brandon Klinzinski there in the 196 though decides he's gonna stay out. Klinzinski and Hubbard should be able to get by our leaders, Nottestead and Shepard there on pit lane. So with 10 laps to go here tonight, that's going to move Klaczynski and Shepard up just a little bit. Or sorry, Klaczynski and Hubbard up. While the 69 and 97 sit on pit road getting that service. Big corner there from the 196. A lot of guys seem to be having a little bit of an issue with that corner. Come flying into there, like you said. They get a nice long straight coming into there. Real excited, trying to fight the guy behind you, make up every little bit you can. Some guys waiting just a little bit too long sometimes. Get back on those brakes. So back out here on the track, that's the 69 Dustin Shepard, 97 of Nottestead. Once again, nose to tail, those two coming down, one right after the other. Shepard this time not wanting to give up that distance between him and Nottestead. Just inside the top 5, this is the 20 of Cody Hubbard. Behind him will be the 79 of Patrick Smith. In front of him, the 196 of Klaczynski. Hubbard, though, decided this is the time to grab those tires, get some fuel. So here he comes down pit lane. Back out front, Jacob Nottestead, Dustin Shepard. Been talking about these guys all night long. They've been putting on one great show for us. Fighting with each other all night, staying right together. Been a great battle, but no one doing anything too crazy. Definitely taking care of those machines so they have something to run at the end. As you see the 97 going to the outside, able to fight off that shot from the 69. Shepard a little loose coming out of that corner. He was looking to make something happen. The move just didn't stick for him. That's going to give Nottestead just a little bit of room, but I'm sure he knows just as well as anyone else it's not going to last too long. Shepard will be sucked back up there on his bumper pretty quick here. Nottestead, a little over half a second between him and Shepard behind him. That should be plenty of distance for Shepard to work with the draft. Close that gap as they get rolling here. Big right-hander before a couple of S's. Just after the S's, that's one more right-hander before heading onto that long front stretch. Look to see Dustin Shepard close that gap even further. Looking like he's going to be a little too far off this time around to make anything happen coming into corner 1, but definitely should be able to close that gap up quite a bit coming down the front stretch. Nine laps to go. Shepard doing everything he can do to catch Nottestead. Nottestead doing everything he can do to make sure that Shepard stays back there as far as possible. They came by. We got a quick look at the 28 of Mike Todd. Mike, currently our first car 1 lap down, coming there out of pits. That'll be his second stop for the night. the 73, Vern Woodard. Vern trying to close that him and Cody Hubbard. Vern been back and forth up towards the front for a little bit before sliding back. Just behind him, the 32 machine there. There he is. That's Jacob Heathcote behind him. Jeffrey Mathis. Jeffrey trying to take that 10th spot away. Back out front here, Nottestead. Big slide through the corner there. Like we said all night long, guys, pending, they're going to have an issue to have it there in that corner. That big long stretch with a guy in your mirror needs you to push in maybe just a little bit harder than you should. Shepard, though, this time out on tires, not looking like he's able to close that gap up to Nottestead the same way he was before. Still sitting about 8/10, 7/10 off the back bumper there. Shepard should be just in range to get the draft. So we'll have to see what happens as they make this final corner onto the front stretch up that big hill coming to the start-finish line. Nottestead moving back and forth just a little bit, making sure that Shepard can't stay right in the draft, minimizing any draft that Shepard is picking up. Shepard loses just under a 10th there coming through that corner. He'd close that gap just a little bit coming down that front stretch using that draft, but Nottestead able to get through the corner a lot cleaner. Drops Shepard by a 10th. Vern Woodard being chased by Jeffrey Mathis. Mathis being chased by Heathcote. These three have been running in this order for a little while now. No one really able to make up too much of a distance or too much time on each other. Heathcote sitting just over half or just under half a second off the back bumper of Mathis. They'll be coming through these S's and back onto that front stretch. That gap we're seeing between them definitely going to be working in Heathcote's favor. There we see Mathis doing the same thing Nottestead was doing. Moving back and forth, trying to minimize whatever draft he can. Heathcote behind him. Heathcote, though, able to capitalize now, sitting almost right off the back bumper there. Mathis in front of him. Mathis on the outside, Heathcote looking to the inside. Heathcote able to make the pass there. Gonna give himself a little bit of room coming down this long stretch into a couple of left-handers. So Heathcote went ahead, moved himself up into that 9th position, but that's not going to free him up from Mathis behind him. Mathis staying all over him. Back out front here, Dustin Shepard works his way by the 97 Jacob Nottestead. Nottestead Not giving anything up though, sitting just at 4/10 off the back bumper. Said able to keep it nice and clean through that corner. And we saw the 69 Shepherd there getting a little bit sideways. Going to give Nottestead a better run coming out of the corner. See if he's able to capitalize it coming here on the next couple of sections. Just in front of him there, that's the number 8 of Wayne Bowen. Wayne a lap down, or a couple laps down, so he's going to go ahead and move out of the way, let these two go on by. Nottestead getting a great run right back to the back bumper there of Shepherd. Both drivers able to get some great runs coming through these corners. Right-hander can be a great braking zone. See if somebody's able to make something happen. Nottestead takes a quick peek up the inside. See if he's able to get there through the S's. Not quite able to get a bumper up alongside the 69 in front of him. Nottestead definitely letting Shepherd know he's there, making Shepherd take a look in his mirrors before he does anything. Coming down the front stretch, that 97 Nottestead trying to close that gap back up. It was right there, just 2/10 off. A couple of corners doing really well in Shepherd's favor, has stretched that gap back out to about 4/10. Back and forth these guys go, just trading corners. Someone will nail the corner, and the next corner after that, the next guy will nail it. No one really able to get a great advantage. It seems like it's coming down to who's able to be in the draft at just the right time coming down the front stretch. Shepherd goes defensive there, coming through the corner. Stays to that inside line. Makes Nottestead look to the outside if he's going to try and make something happen. These two been running nose to tail lap after lap with 5 laps to go. It's anyone's guess who's going to come away with this top spot. Nottestead, big slide through the corner there, off into the grass just a touch. Definitely not what he was trying to have happen as he chases down the 69 of Dustin Shepherd. So as these guys make their way around the track here tonight, they are catching up lap cars. That's the 92 there in front of him, David Knowles. David will be going just 1 lap down here. Only 5 laps to go. You know David's got to be a little bummed out to see those cars behind him. He was hoping to stay on that lead lap, but he's going to go ahead and move out of the way, let those guys come on by and keep their race going. That gap now up to just under a second between first and second. We're going to move here to the battle for 8th and 9th. That's the 32, Jacob Heathcote, the 19th of Jeffrey Mathis. half a second between these two drivers. Big slide. We're hearing those tires squealing as they come around the corner there out of Mathis. He's able to keep that car under control. They'll keep it under him as they come into the corner. Those two drivers more or less mirroring each other now. This battle here, but 8th and 9th. Heathcote all over the back bumper. Little bit of a slide there out of Mathis. Heathcote looking to the inside through the S's. Heathcote able to make that pass as they went through those S's. Big slide there. See if he's able to hang on to the position coming out of the corner. Four laps to go. Dustin Shepard looks like he is all alone out there on track. Nottestead having issues dropping through the field currently. The next car on the lead lap behind Shepard is going to be the 79 of Patrick Smith. Quite a ways back. We're looking at almost a 1 minute gap between him. About a minute and a half gap between him and our current leader, Dustin Shepard. Shepard in that top spot. Gonna be happy here towards the end of the race, able to relax a little bit, not have to worry about pushing hard through every single corner. Current top 10, we're looking at Dustin Shepard in first, Patrick Smith running second, Brandon Klasinski in third, Gary Stone running fourth, Joshua Taylor in fifth, Cody Hubbard in sixth, seventh is going to be Jacob Heathcote, eighth Jeffrey Mathis, ninth Vern Woodard, Brad Tazbecker rounding out our top 10 here tonight. Just in front of our current leader, that's the 57 Sawyer Ott. Sawyer, our last car on the lead lap, going to be going a lap down right here. Hubbard in that 20 machine, currently sitting in sixth, be chasing down the 01 Joshua Taylor, trying to get to that fifth position. Hubbard out here getting a good race tonight. Can come away with a couple wins. Got a little bit of time left, but probably not enough to get back up to that top position. Almost 2 minutes between him and first right now. So he'll have his eyes set on that fifth position, try and get a top 5 finish here tonight. About a second and a half between him and the 01 of Josh Taylor. For 196, Brad Klasinski slowly closing that gap to the 79 of Patrick Smith in front of him. You get a little bit of, there you go, you can see that distance between those two cars. That's what 3.7 seconds looks here at Road America. That's a pretty good gap between those cars, but the way things are going here tonight, that could end up being just one corner, somebody making a big mistake, sliding off that track, hitting the car sideways, having to chase her back down. 91 there of Jerry Stone. Just behind him, that's the 01 of Josh Taylor. Jerry, big slide through that corner. Definitely towards the end of the run here. Those tires are going to be getting old. They're going to be wearing out. You guys push to finish the race here tonight. They'll be using up every last bit that tire's got to give. Laps to go here tonight. Look at the 69 there, Dustin Shepard, our current leader. Darrell Calder letting him go on by. Darrell's a couple laps down, so no reason in slowing that leader up. Shepard with just 2 more laps to go here tonight. Sure, he can taste that win already. Like we said, just one corner can mess things up for him. 27, Brad Tesbecker, currently sitting in 10th, chasing down the 73 of Vern Woodard. Vern sitting in 9th. Brad will have his eyes set all over the back bumper of that 73 Valvoline machine. Coming here through the S's into that last corner before the front stretch. Just over a second and a half between these two drivers. Well, not quite the gap he needs to be grabbing much of that draft, but I'm sure Brad will be doing everything he can to close that gap each corner they come through. Brandon Kaczynski currently sitting at second in that 196 machine. He's got plenty of room here tonight. He's not going to have to push too hard for this final lap here. Last two cars on our lead lap, the 73 and 27, they continue to get pretty close here. Brad able to close that gap just a little bit, taking a couple tenths out of Vern there in front of him. With only one lap to go here tonight, that gap doesn't look like it's closing fast enough for Brad to make too much happen, but I'm sure he's going to be pushing right up to the bitter end. You know, I said he wasn't going to be able to do too much with it, but it looks like he's trying to prove me wrong as that gap continues to shrink between those two cars. Vern Woodard, I'm sure, is keeping an eye on that relative. He can feel that gap shrinking between him and Brad. Coming through the S's now as they're getting ready to come onto that last time onto the front stretch. Brad looks to the inside, not able to make anything happen there. He's going to get up alongside just a little bit, coming into the corner. Decides to drop back into line. Like he's going to try and come underneath this time onto the front stretch. Big slide out of Becker. Vern able to get great speed out of the corner. Looks like he's going to be able to maintain that position. Look now, the 69, Dustin Shepard. Dustin will be coming to the finish line for the final time here tonight. So Shepard bringing home that top spot, will be coming home in first. The 196, Brandon Klasinski, still got quite a ways to go around this track. Got a little bit of gap between him and third place. The 91, Jerry Stone, though, got the 01, Josh Taylor, just there behind him. Josh will be doing everything he can to close that gap, get caught up, and try and make a pass here at the end. Stone looking like he's staying calm, cool, and collected around the corners here, not pushing too crazy, getting that machine stepping out sideways or anything like that. Plenty of control. Doesn't have to do much but maintain that position. With 1.5 seconds between him and Taylor, Stone should be feeling pretty comfortable coming in this last set of turns here. Big right-hander, couple of S's, and then one final right-hander before making that final sprint onto the final stretch. Last corner in the 91, Jerry Stone able to hang onto that machine pretty easily. He should come away with that top 3 tonight. All right, we're going to step away for just one moment, see if we can get a hold of some of our drivers, get a hold of our top 3, and hopefully have a word with them here tonight. Welcome back to the Turn 3 Racing Network. You just caught the end of the Shut Up and Race Street Stock Series by Elkhorn Automotive and 5 Star Realty. Going to catch up now with our top 3 finishers. First up, let's see if we can catch up with, that's the 91 machine, Jerry Stone. Jerry, you got a copy?
I got a copy. You got me?
I got you, Jerry. Jerry, road course a little bit different than what we normally see these stocks at. What was it like out there for you?
Well, I'm one of the rare people that actually likes the road courses, so it's a lot of fun for me. I tried to pull a weird strategy there that I thought was going to not work out for me, but got back in a time 3.
Well, a great finish for you there in that third position. You say you like driving these cars out here at the road courses. It's a pretty rare thing to hear that. So, how are you looking forward to our coming weeks when we head back to the ovals?
Um, I'm excited, of course. I struggle there a little bit. Those guys are a bit faster than me. We do the 24-hour road course, and I run as many road courses as I can, so it's kind of a place where I can even up here. But these cars are fun. The racing's great, so I'm gonna have a lot of fun either way.
Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming out here on track. Anyone you want to say thank you to helps you get that car out here each week.
Well, teammate David Knowles, we kind of feed off each other and help each other out during the race. And he bought this track and tonight just to come out here and race.
Oh, awesome. Great job out here. We look forward to seeing more for you the rest of the season.
All right, have a good one.
All right, let's see if we can catch up now. The 196, Brandon Klazitsky. Brandon, you got a copy.
I got a copy.
Brandon, am I getting that last name even close? Right?
That's dead on, Klazinski.
Ah, I got one. We'll take it. Well, hey, congratulations bringing that car home in second here tonight. You know, these cars are not known for their road course ability. How was it hucking that car into these pretty sharp corners they got here?
You had to go in very, very easy.
A lot of braking. We heard guys shifting gears all night long. Do you have any issues with finding a gear or the car not cooperating that way?
No, all gears were good. No missed gears or anything the whole race.
That's always exciting to hear. You know, getting the wrong gear coming into the corner can find that back end stepping out on you pretty bad. Next week we head back to the oval tracks. You excited for that, or were you kind of sad to see this road course behind us now?
Kind of sad to see it go. I enjoy the road courses.
Well, hey, it was great having you out here tonight. You put on a great race for us in that 196 machine. Who helps you get it out here on track? Who do you want to say thank you to?
Well, I have to say thanks to Dustin Shepard for helping me get out here, and thank y'all for letting me come out here and race. I enjoy it. That's about it.
All right, well, congratulations on that second place finish. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
Dustin, this is Danny up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, Danny. How you doing?
Doing good. All night long we were watching you chase down that 97 machine. He'd kind of slip away for a little bit, and then you'd make that time back up. Looks like these road courses definitely something you're comfortable with.
Yes, I like racing road courses. I mean, it's really the first time in a street stock. But I said, yeah, Jacob was fast all night. I said, we traded spots a few times. Then, he pitted a couple laps before me, and got away from me, and I was able to catch up and then pit together.
So how was that? We're used to seeing the draft at some bigger tracks. This long front stretch, was that basically like a mini segment out of Daytona for you guys?
Yes, draft came into effect, but you never got a big run. I don't know, going up the hill, I don't know if it killed the momentum. I've said, even on the other straightaway, I mean, you would draft up, but it never was, a big slingshot.
Not a whole lot of speed coming out of that draft, but just a touch to help you out if you were already there.
Yeah, yep.
Well, hey, this was a big kind of one-off for the series here. Normally we see you guys out here at the ovals. Coming into this, were you excited for it? Were you worried about it?
So I was excited. I mean, I figured I had a good chance because I do quite a bit of road racing. I was always worried about Jacob. I mean, all week I was pretty fast. Me and my teammate Brandon, we put a a lot of hours in this week on it and figured out a lot of things that picked up time here and there. So hopefully next year, Shup and Race can do some more road courses for us.
It's always exciting to see you guys out here at the road courses. If you had to pick a favorite corner here tonight, what was one that, was that feel good when you got it right?
Turn 3, that left-hander after the long straightaway, man. If you hit it and accelerated, and said you were doing pretty good.
As we saw quite a few guys having some issues there, kind of overshooting it. Feels seem like they get real excited with someone on their back bumper and overdrive it there just a little bit. So no surprise to hear you say that's favorites here.
Yes, sir. Said I had a blast.
Well, hey, that 69 machine looking good in victory lane. Anyone that helps you get out here on track, anyone you want to say thank you to?
They said, of course, shut up and race, and you guys broadcasting the course. Brandon, my teammate, said J&G Hardwood always helps out with making sure I have all the tracks that we need when we race somewhere we don't have. That's about it, man.
Hey, well, always exciting to see you guys out here doing some great racing for us. You have a great night.
Thanks, man. You too.
Great action from Up and Race Street Stock Series here from Road America. These guys put on a great show for us on this almost 4-mile track. Plenty of lefts, plenty of rights, and a lot of guys, surprisingly, even in these great big heavy street stocks, excited to do it. Hopefully we'll see more great action from the Shut Up and Race Street Stock Series in the coming weeks. They are getting ready to wind down the season, just a few more races to go. From everyone here at Turn 3 Racing Network, we appreciate you coming on out, giving everything a watch. Have a great night.
Yeah.